Lebanon, this land evangelized by our Lord, is a source of inspiration, a priceless heritage for all Christians. Today, however, this region represents an area of great concern as slowly Christianity disappears. The combination of economic hardship as well as the rapid growth and influence of Islam has resulted in a mass emigration of young Christians. The result is that Lebanon, until recently the only Middle Eastern country with a Christian majority, is today predominantly Islamic. The decline has been rapid. 30 years ago, Christians made up more than 50% of the population. Today, less than 45%. The position and influence of the Church in Lebanese society is under threat.
The strength of the Christian community in Lebanon on a level of government and on a level of law, of civic rights, might diminish and might endanger the freedom and the power for formation of clergy, for instance, that the Church in Lebanon has up to now. We all know how limited the rights of Christians are in the Islamic Middle East, or especially in those countries where the Sharia, the Islamic law, governs the administration of the national society. Thanks be to God, up to now, this is not yet the case in Lebanon. But if the Christian churches in Lebanon became more and more a minority church, this might happen in Lebanon too.
The Church's unique freedom in Lebanon has allowed it to develop specialized religious education centers for all the Oriental rites of the Catholic Church. Religious and lay people educated in these centers make a vital contribution to the survival not only of the Lebanese Church, but more widely of the Church throughout the entire Middle East.
The Church in Lebanon is very important for the life of Christians in the Middle East. Lebanon is practically the only country in the Middle East where Christian citizenship is entirely recognized and respected by the national law, where the Church is free in her activities, in her life. The Lebanese Christians have become more and more convinced of this importance of their responsibility towards the Christians in the other countries of the Middle East.
High standards and the right to a Christian education make Lebanese clergy extremely important in helping the Church function in the Middle East. Only in Lebanon can one obtain a university degree in theology or catechetics. In many other Middle Eastern countries, such as Saudi Arabia, the promotion of Christian education is forbidden and punishable by law.
All the churches in the Middle East know of the importance for their own Christian life of the status of the Church in Lebanon. The Christian part in the Middle East is very well aware of the necessary help they have to receive from the Church in Lebanon. In many other countries of the Middle East, you will find now bishops who are Lebanese in origin.
During the last 30 years, there has been a marked increase of Islamic fundamentalism in Lebanon. Although difficult for the Church, it has provoked a deeper awareness of faith among the Christian community living in this country.
It may appear strange to say such a thing, but I think we have to thank the Lord for the troubles the Church in Lebanon has gone through, because those troubles in Lebanon have provoked a deepening of Christian life and of Christian responsibility in the Lebanese society.
Paradoxically, the religious conflict and growing instability has resulted in a marked increase in the number of vocations to both the Catholic and Orthodox churches.
The war has had such an effect that the young, above all, felt a little abandoned. They couldn't count on anything in this world, neither on their wealth, nor on their parents' position, nor on anything else. So they found themselves face to face with God alone, on whom one can count. And this, I think, contributed to a deepening of the faith and has provoked vocations among the young, both female and male vocations.
There are, especially after the war in Lebanon, many vocations, very good vocations among the young. So the Holy See gave us the permission to exceed the number of sisters in order to sow, to establish new foundations. Now we are looking around for the location. We are 30 sisters now, 9 in the novitiate. Thanks be to God, all of them are really very good vocations. These are young girls who come here and are really searching for the radicalism of the gospel. Young people today are thirsty for truth and authenticity, and this happens in a country of martyrs. This is certainly a result of the sowing done by martyrs. It is the faith of the Church.
This Carmelite convent, although Greek Catholic, plays an important ecumenical role, both for other Catholic rites as well as for the Orthodox Church.
Now, among our girls, there are 5 of whom where the mother is Orthodox. The father is, for example, Greek Catholic or Maronite, and the mother Orthodox. So these mothers come here, they participate in our liturgies. One of them told me, "Mother, you know, the joy for me is to see my daughter being consecrated," and to hear her reciting all these prayers, which in the expression of their religiosity reminds me of my family. So I feel that I have not lost my daughter. I would have maybe had a strange impression if she were in a different rite. Now I understand much more through this mystery why she is Greek Catholic.
This noticeable increase in the number of vocations in Lebanon is also strongly evident in the Orthodox Church. This convent, located high in the mountains above the Kadisha Valley, was destroyed during the 1917 war and since then has been uninhabited. Deserted for 80 years, monastic life has again taken root on these isolated heights.
After the war, all the monasteries are full, and many people come here for liturgy, work, prayers, and confession.
Travailler pour prier, pour faire la confession.
Today, 10 monks live a rigorous life of asceticism and prayer. The average age is 25. They are fascinated by the presence of God and have abandoned everything for Him.
I've chosen the monastic life because I love God. I believe that Jesus Christ is the full, absolute truth. Each distance we take from Him is a sin and a lack of faith. We should put Jesus at the center of our lives before everything. All the rest is meaningless.
يعني الشغل الأساسية وبعدين الشغلات الثانية تعتبر كلها ثانوية.
It's a good time for monastic life and for spiritual life, because there are no dangers, no contact with Muslims. The only contact is a spiritual or cultural one. There is no physical contact, no war between us.
The life of a monk is based on prayer and work. His day starts at 3 a.m. with 3 hours of prayer in the chapel. Only then does his work day begin with either manual or intellectual activities. He can eat only twice a day. Despite the difficult demands of monastic life, the monastery is presently too small for the number of candidates.
We are now preparing 10 cells because we are waiting for 10 new monks, 10 novices for the monastic life here. Maybe we will have to construct some workshops and refectories in order to be able to serve more visitors who would like to make a retreat here. We have to serve them.
أيتها الأم الجديرة بكل مديح يا من ولدت الكلمة الأقدس من كل القديسين أيتها الفائقة الصغار بجاه القدسين أيتها الأم لأنك انتقلت إلى الحياة بما أنك أم الحياة فبشفاعتك أنقذي من الموت نفوسنا يا بهجة الطغمات السماوية والناصرة العلي.
Catholic seminaries are also overflowing. This one in Gazir near Beirut runs 7-year theological and biblical courses for the young seminarians. There are on average 95 seminarians studying each year.
They come with a spirit of commitment and openness for missionary work. As a result of this, in general, we find that pastoral work now is more advanced than before.
The difficult economic situation in Lebanon also burdens the Church, particularly in view of the growing number of religious vocations. The Church is not alone, however, and thanks to help from charities like Aid to the Church in Need, the Lebanese Church flourishes.
Some years ago, we received money from Aid to the Church in Need, which has helped us in maintaining the seminary and in the everyday life of seminarians. This organization has also helped us in the renovation of the seminary. The church in Lebanon needs help, but she in turn helps others also. From a missionary and spiritual point of view, we, as the Lebanese Church, receive external help, even financial help. But all this strengthens our spirit of openness. We do, as Jesus said, if you have received freely, also give freely. Now our young people are more and more sensitive to this missionary openness, and they are more and more ready to serve the Church, not only in Lebanon, but also elsewhere, in the countries of emigration and mission.
The desire of the young to serve is evident. The challenge is to help provide the quality education for these future priests that will allow the Church to play the important role confided to her among these rapidly changing societies.